Hey everyone, so by the time you see this, I'll be out of town. I've actually been out of town for the past week, so I had to get this video done early. We're just gonna stick to a more casual commentary. I just want this video to be a more chill, discussion-based thing. Alright, so Valve's old post about balance changes was pretty awesome, and kickstarted discussion, which is great for the health of the game, but as of late, we've gotten radio silence, so that means we're just gonna have to kickstart the discussion ourselves. This video is just gonna be a list of stuff that I'd like to see from the heavy update, or whatever the next update happens to be, ranging all the way from bug fixes and quality of life, to balance changes, to new content. Now, obviously, I am no game design expert, and I'm not even particularly good at the game, so take what I say with a massive grain of salt. Some of what I'm requesting might also be a tad unrealistic, but I mean, whatever. It's a wish list, not a set-in-stone to-do list. Also, feel free to discuss in the comments. That's the whole point of this video anyway. So yeah, let's go. Quality of life and bug fixes are my first priority, honestly. Just please, God, we just need some of this spaghetti to be untangled. Now, I know that's far easier said than done, and there's a lot of stuff to untangle. I honestly wouldn't even know where to start. But there is a lot of small stuff that could be fixed too. For example, some stairs don't have the proper clipping brush applied and prevent people from sliding up them, and it also shakes their screen around a bunch when they walk up them. This is actually something that I found out about recently, so thank you, comment section. But yeah, this would be a really easy fix, and just like this, there's a ton of other easy fixes that, if done consistently, would just improve the game immensely. My stance on this is that I would much rather Valve work on fixing things that are already in the game rather than putting in a bunch more new content that would inevitably be broken on launch. Of course, I know that new content is what keeps the game alive, but I think some shifting of priorities is in order at the very least. As far as other fixes go, let's start with competitive mode. It still needs a lot of work. Now, I haven't used it nearly as much as other people, and I probably wouldn't use it as much as them if it were improved, so honestly, I'm probably not the best person to talk about what specifically needs to be changed, but a lot of people care about it, so it would be dumb of me not to include it in this video. Anyway, moving on to casual mode, random crits. Get them out of there. Yeah, I know, I'm about to get yelled at by the keep random crits camp that mysteriously started existing and disagreeing as soon as someone popular made a video about it. No, seriously, where the fuck were y'all before that video when everyone hated crits? You know, just wondering. It's strange, actually. For some reason, maybe because I'm a casual player, a lot of people seem to think that I'm some sort of leader for the keep random crits movement, like some sort of paragon of RNG bullshit, but, like, nah, crits are fucking stupid. Like, okay, I get it, man. This shit is pretty funny, all right? I understand, but if the cost for that is this helps create those rare high moments. No, get him out of casual. That shit's dumb. Okay, next, I think it would be cool if there was a limit placed on how high people can set their interp, because this shit is borderline cheating, and it's just really dumb. You know, come to think of it, let's just work on fixing melee hit reg in general, yeah? That'd be pretty awesome. And finally, the biggest thing that I'd like to see fixed is the amount of communication from the TF team. Let us know what's going on, even if it's bad news. Good communication is a cornerstone for long-term support and development. Like, TF team, y'all gotta talk to us, man. Radio silence isn't cool. Okay, let's talk balance changes. I'm gonna try and talk about at least one thing for each class, going in the order that they're shown on the loadout screen. So let's start with Scout. The Babyface's blaster is in a terrible spot right now, and I think it could use a buff. So it was definitely broken pre-nerf, but it wasn't because of the stats themselves. It was because of how the Scout at full boost could literally outrun his hitbox, which was stupid. So if the hitbox could be fixed, I think it would be totally fine if it was reverted. Now, if that isn't possible, maybe we could just buff it so that you take more than a couple pistol shots before losing all of your boost and instantly dying. I don't know. I also think it'd be cool if the guillotine was buffed back into being a combo weapon. The issue that I had with it initially was that it was comboed with a stun mechanic. My issue wasn't the guillotine, it was the Sandman. So if only there was a melee weapon that had an alt fire that launched a projectile that didn't stun them. Maybe one which incorporates the same core damage type, giving it built-in synergy. It'd be like a weapon that deals crits on targets already suffering from its initial damage type. I feel like we've seen that somewhere before, I don't know. Just a thought. I think it'd be cool. Okay, Soldier, I think is in an all right spot. Honestly, the one big thing that I'd like to see changed is the Bison's hitbox, please Valve. Okay, so if you followed my channel for any reasonable amount of time, you know that I've talked about this a billion times already. So I'm just gonna leave a link in the description to that one video that you've probably already seen, but if you haven't, well, there it is. For Pyro, buff the Sharpened Volcano Fragment. Like, it fucking sucks, man. I don't even know what to do with it. Talk about it in the comments section. I don't fucking know, man. That thing sucks. Demo Man, Valve, please God fix the caber. Like, half the time it doesn't even register the explosion, and even if it does, the fall off makes it so that it can't consistently kill light classes. Sometimes it just leaves them with 1 health. Like, okay, I get it. It was definitely too strong pre-patch. You shouldn't be able to jump in and just drop a medic instantly. That was stupid. I understand. But I feel like a consistent 125 damage on an explosion would be fine. Like, I just want to be able to terrorize snipers again, man. That's all anybody ever wanted to do with it. For Heavy, I think he needs buffs on the Brass Beast, Steak Sandwich, and Warrior Spirit. They all kind of suck as is. If the Brass Beast needs to be the hunker down and defend minigun, I think it needs to do so better. Maybe more damage resistance or crit resistance or something. I don't know, man. Steak Sandwich needs to make you not more vulnerable to damage. Being limited to your melee is bad enough. And for the Warrior Spirit, I don't know. A lot of people want to see it reverted to pre-tough break stats, but I haven't really used it enough to know for sure. Just talk about that one in the comments. We'll see. Okay, Engineer. Thompson could be stronger, I guess. I mean, before it got nerfed, it was incredibly unfun to fight against, so I don't think revert it, but I'm sure there's some other niche it could fall into. Mid-range combat? Maybe reduce the damage fall off or something? I don't know. I think the Wrangler could use a change. Uncle Dane's video on that was fantastic, so I'll just leave a link for that in the description for some potential changes to be made there. Okay, so for Medic, I think that there should either be a crossbow nerf or a buff for his other syringe guns. Like, I'm not sure if crossbow is outright overpowered, but it definitely outclasses every other primary. One potential change that I think would be cool and put other primaries on its level would be if the Overdoses speed buff was passive, instead of requiring that you pull it out to get it. I honestly feel like it's the same kind of deal with Medic's melees and the Ubersaw. Like, I'd just like to see more viable options for Medic other than crossbow, stock, and Ubersaw, you know? It'd be cool. Oh boy, this next one's gonna be a little controversial. I honestly think that Sniper as a whole just needs to be nerfed. Like, I'm not even that good at Sniper, and whenever I play him, I just feel like it's way too good. You know, like I said earlier, you can literally kill anyone from anywhere on the map instantly in 1 shot. It's totally bonkers, man. One good suggestion that I've heard thrown around a lot is that a nerf to quickscoping would be good. It would force Sniper to think more about positioning and charging shots to get those key picks without just being able to instantly kill everyone by clicking on them. A lot of people are saying that 100 damage would be a good number for the nerfed quickscope, but I'm thinking that 110 might work better. The reason I say this would be so that snipers could reliably headshot to body shot combo medics similar to how they do with soldiers now. Altogether, a 100 damage headshot and a body shot would do 150, but remember that the medic regenerates health, meaning that he'd be able to survive a body shot by the time the sniper gets it off. 110 damage, however, would allow him to kill the medic without crossing too many other notable damage thresholds. I guess you could double headshot a battalion soldier and one-shot a Sandman scout, but other than that, it'd be pretty much the same. Also, a nerf to quickscoping would force the sniper to focus more on scoping in and charging shots, which would indirectly buff the Classic and the Sydney Sleeper. So, yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, Spy. Oh, poor Spy. What do we even do with this guy? All right, first things first. Let's talk about the Ambassador. I think it needed to be nerfed, but I also think that it got nerfed way too hard. As it stands, it kind of fucking sucks. So I think it'd be cool to see a partial or hell even full reversion of the Jungle Inferno changes. Now I know, this is coming from the guy that fucking hates spy mains and hated the Ambassador pre-nerf. But again, like I've said earlier, that was more a problem with them abusing Deadringer than it was with abusing the Ambassador. And now that the Deadringer's nerfed, I honestly think it's pretty, you know, it's all right. That being said, I do feel like a full reversion of the changes would make it too strong compared to his other revolvers. So a change that I, along with a lot of other people have thrown around recently, is to remove the fall off but keep the max headshot range, maybe even increase it to around 100 feet. And that's not just an arbitrary number I threw out for shits and giggles. It's currently 1200 hammer units, which translates to 75 feet, and that's a bit too short in my opinion. Most other revolvers would still be pretty effective at that range. I'm thinking a 33% increase would be pretty sizable and would more solidly place it in a mid-range niche. But there is a pretty big problem with this suggestion that lots of people have brought up. If the fall off is removed but not the max headshot range, there then exists this magical invisible line where the damage goes from 102 to 15 or something, like instantly. And that's kind of stupid and unintuitive. So here's my suggestion. What if we did the opposite? We removed the max headshot range, but not the fall off. The range for the 102 damage headshot goes out to around 100 feet, like I suggested, but it's at this point that the fall off that it currently has engages, going down to a 54 damage headshot at any range. This would let the ambi keep the mid-range revolver niche that it initially had, still rewards skilled players for hitting headshots at long range, because 54 ain't nothing to scoff at across the map, but it still doesn't fall into the trap of making Spy a diet sniper, which is what the nerf was initially trying to avoid. Honestly, I think it's a pretty good compromise. Also, nerf the Diamondback already? Seriously, if you were gonna nerf the ambi, then why the fuck did you not nerf this thing? Like, honestly. So one thing that After Breakfast brought up that I thought was really interesting is that the Diamondback is especially problematic because you can't see the crit coming. Like, compare it to the Frontier Justice, the other get crits for doing basic class functions gun, and you can see that thing glowing from across the fucking map before the NG shoots you, and that instantly makes you go, oh shit, I shouldn't mess with this guy. But since Spy can disguise, you can't see that crit glow, and the crit comes out of nowhere. So maybe the Diamondback could be changed to only crit while it's undisguised. I thought that was a cool idea. Or you could also just like nerf the crits themselves. I don't know. Discuss it in the comments or something. Another thing that I'd like to see is a rework of the disguise kit. I think Spy should be able to fake any class-specific animation, like scoping, revving, etc. Like, you can fake weapon switches by pressing B when you have the respective weapon out, so why not other animations? The big reason for this is that I think it would be cool if Spy had more tools based around trickery and acting, because honestly, that shit's really cool. Also, let Spy do reload animations at any time. So in his current state, the only way Spy can make his disguise do a reload animation is by actually reloading his revolver. So you'd either have to disable auto reload, which would gimp you on other classes, or drop your disguise, switch weapons, redisguise, keep your revolver holstered, and then pull it out and reload when you want to do the animation. And even then, you can only do it once, so if there's a weapon that does it multiple times, like the scattergun or the rocket launcher, you're just kinda shit out of luck. It's just super unintuitive. Okay, hold up, quick post-production clarification. What I just said isn't entirely true. I just found out, like way into the production of this video, that you can in fact repeat the reload animation if you reload cancel. So you start reloading, then you switch weapons, and then you repeatedly switch back and forth between the weapons, and you just do the start of the reload animation over and over again. That being said, it's still rather unintuitive. You'd still be gimping yourself by losing a shot in the clip, and with certain weapons, the animation can still break, meaning that you'd just get found out instantly. It'd be a fantastic quality of life change if you could just press the reload button and have the Spy fake a reload animation for however long you're holding it down. Okay, anyway, back to the main video. I think it'd be cool if you could just press a button and have your disguise do the reload animation. Like, trickery is fucking awesome. Acting is awesome. I really, really want Spy's niche to be more based around that rather than just diet sniper. Valve, like you said, Spy shouldn't be sniper, but you can't just take away the thing that made him diet sniper without giving him something else in return. Because at that point, what is he? It's just kind of nothing, you know? Okay, so also the Enforcer is kind of pointless, as is. Its only real use is two-shotting Razorback snipers because the ambi sucks now. So I think it'd be cool if the Enforcer was a building buster. It does more damage to buildings, but less damage to players, kind of like the Homewrecker. It'd have a clear, defined, and relatively common use case, and it'd make Spy more effective at the things that he's supposed to be effective at. It'd be pretty cool in my opinion. You know, come to think of it, I think Xenogene actually made a video recently that had a really interesting potential change. The Enforcer currently has that resistance piercing stat that makes it stronger against vac medics and other stuff like that, but the only thing that it doesn't currently pierce is Sapper armor, which is the 33% resistance that sentries get to your revolver when you place a sapper on it. If the Enforcer could pierce that as well, it'd fill that building buster niche that I talked about earlier without having to change all those other stats all that much. It's definitely an interesting idea. And finally, the red tape recorder sucks. Should probably do something about that. Like, I don't know what, I'm not a game designer. Let's just talk about that one in the comments. All right, let's talk new content. Honestly, this is my lowest priority out of everything that I've talked about, but I'm well aware that new content is the thing that keeps games alive, so you gotta have some of it. So obviously it's the Heavy update, so Heavy would need new weapons, and I'm thinking that Heavy needs a fundamentally different playstyle, because as he is, well, he's just really boring. So I think it would be cool if he got a minigun replacement that either makes him a full-on tank or buffs Fat Scout into viability. So I'm thinking like a riot shield type thing for tanking, or a movement speed buff for Fat Scout, or maybe it could be a shotgun buff, like a bandolier that gives him explosive shells or something. I don't know, that'd be cool. Outside of Heavy, I have a few other ideas. Firstly, give Demo a market gardener. Like, I know the meme is give Demo a Glock or whatever, but like, give Demo a market gardener. Come on, please. I just really want this, okay? Come on, it'd be awesome. You know you want it. I want it. Come on. Give Demo a market gardener. Also, I think it'd be pretty cool if Engineer got a primary that's like an old Western Colt revolver, and if Spy got a watch that lets him send out a hologram, Halo Reach style. That would be sick. I guess new hats and new war paints would be cool. I've never really been too into those. A new campaign would be awesome. I loved the old contracts. That'd be nice. I do really want to see more new Stranges added. I know certain ones like the Vitasaw can never have Strange variants because of copyright issues, but there's still a ton of them that could get Strangifiers. Things like the Scottish Handshake, the Rocket Jumper, Sticky Jumper, Gunboat, Short Circuit, Robo Sandwich, all the Jungle Inferno weapons, the Tide Turner, etc, 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 etc. You get it. Man, really at the end of the day, I just want a Rocket Jumper Strangifier. I want to see how far I've rocket jumped, and I know that it's possible to track because there's an achievement that does that with the parachutes. Come on, Rocket Jumper Strangifier. It'd be so cool. Anyway, one final thing that I'd like to see added would be more player destruction maps. A lot of people want to see CTF reworked, which I understand, it sucks, but CTF is currently the unofficial team deathmatch game mode. You know, because it sucks. So revamping it would neuter that significantly. So to counterbalance this, why not just have more player destruction maps other than Watergate and a Halloween map? You could even revamp Koth maps for it. It's not like you'd have to add entirely new maps, and plus the workshop exists, so you know. Also, it'd be super popular. Lots of people, including myself, really enjoy just running around and fragging without having to worry about an objective. I'm just saying, it'd do really well. Okay, that's pretty much all I've got on my little heavy update wish list. Just a quick reminder, please don't take any of my words here as law. I am not an expert by any stretch, and I don't want this to be something that comes off as, I'm right, you're wrong, this is what has to be done. If you disagree with me on something, please talk about it in the comments. The whole point of this video is to kickstart discussion, which I feel is good for the overall health of the game. So yeah, let's talk about this. Honestly, after doing this, I'm a really big fan of these sorts of casual discussion videos, so you might see more of them in the future. I don't know. For now though, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.